Good morning to all of you. Are you able to see the slides and hear me? Anybody else? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So now let's see the next topic on this estimation. Okay, let's see. We're continuing this project estimation techniques. So I have told there are several parametric models like the Albrecht function point, Simpson's function point, and then which one? Then cosmic function point, and last one is COCOMO. So in the last previous classes we have discussed about function points, all the three types of function points. So today we'll discuss this COCOMO model, which is very important for what teaching point of view, campus center point of view, and industry point of view. Let's see first the basic COCOMO, which is also known as COCOMO 81. Then we will see some of the advanced COCOMO models like COCOMO 2, intermediate COCOMO. These are all advanced COCOMO models. I have already told you, there are different parametric models. They exist for estimating size. One is Albrecht or IF PUG function point, another is Simpson's or Mark II function points, then cosmic function points, and last one is COCOMO. So number 1, number 2, number 3 about function points we have discussed in the earlier classes. Today we'll mainly discuss about COCOMO. Okay. COCOMO stands for the constructive cost model. Very often people they confuse cost constructive model and then say some other thing constructive cost effective model like this. So but COCOMO stands for constructive cost model. It was first published by Barry Boehm in the year 1981. That's why this model is known as COCOMO 81 because it was published in 1981. This is the basic version of the COCOMO. So you can say actually very often it is asked in the examination who proposed this COCOMO model. Many people they do not say. Then we give the hints. Can you say who has developed the spiral model? Anybody else? Who has developed the spiral model? Yes, spiral model we have seen. Waterfall model, incremental model, prototype model, spiral model for what software development? Anyone can say who has developed, who has proposed the spiral model? See, these questions you do not think that in what this higher interviews very difficult things will be asked. These very fundamental questions will be asked. He is not other than Barry Boehm. Barry Boehm has also proposed the spiral model which handles risks. So in the examination we give the hint when we ask spiral model or the COCOMO, people do not able to say who has proposed a spiral model. The same person has developed COCOMO, or who has developed COCOMO, the same person has also developed the spiral model. Okay, so please try to remember those things. There are several interactive cost estimation software. Okay, there are several interactive cost estimation software available. Some packages are available. Some packages are also available. So this person, Dr. Barry Boehm, when he has proposed COCOMO, he has analyzed several statistical regression data. Then, so he has derived this model from those statistical regression of data. Okay, Barry Boehm has proposed COCOMO model by deriving, okay, from the statistical regression of data. He has derived the COCOMO model from statistical regression of several data. So this statistical regression of data, it was taken from a base of some around 60 or 63 past projects in between, and these source instructions are what we can say about 2,000 to 5,12,000 sites. This COCOMO 81, it was based on several industry productive standards where the database can be constantly updated. You know, database needs updation, otherwise this old data still they will remain. So this COCOMO 81 or the basic, this I have already told you, COCOMO 81 is also known as basic COCOMO model. So this COCOMO 81, it is based on industry productive standards where the database can be constantly. This model also allows an organization to benchmark its software development productivity. How you can organize the different software development productivity. This also allows. It also allows an organization to benchmark. Okay, it also allows an organization to benchmark its software development productivity. They can be benchmarked. So as I have already told you, COCOMO 81 is also known as the basic COCOMO, the basic model. And here the effort required to develop a software can be computed by using the following equation, that the effort required will be equal to C into size to the power K, where C is a constant and K is a constant. The size you have to estimate first, and by estimating the size, this value, put the value, estimated value for size, you put it here, then you can get the effort. So C and K both are constant. They depend on the type of the software that you are going to develop, the type of the system you are going to develop. We'll see shortly. The software types or the project types can be divided into three major categories. 1, organic products. 2, semi-detached product. 3, embedded products. So the software products can be divided into three categories: organic, semi-detached, and embedded products. So depending upon the type of the product, whether semi-detached or embedded, accordingly the values of C and K, they will vary. I will give a table for the different products, the different values of C and K. The size is normally measured in KLOC. Please remember, size is measured in KLOC, not in LOC. That means in terms of thousands of lines of code. As I have already told you that there are three types of products, or there are three different environments or modes can be there. Okay. Then can be three different environments or modes. One is organic mode, semi-detached mode, and embedded mode. Let's see what is represented by organic, what is semi-detached, and what is embedded. So also there are three increasingly complex models. Out of that, basic model is the most easiest model. Intermediate model or intermediate COCOMO model is little bit complex than basic model, and the detailed model is again little bit complex than the intermediate model. So this is one category. After this detailed model, we will see another improved model or advanced model of COCOMO, that is known as COCOMO 2. So after we'll first discuss these three models, then we'll go to the more complex model or much complex model, that is COCOMO 2. As I have already told you, there are three modes for COCOMO. That means depending upon the nature of the software product that is going to be developed, there are three COCOMO modes. One is organic mode, semi-detached mode, and embedded mode. Let's see what do we mean by organic mode. So the software product, it can be categorized as it can be categorized as in organic mode if that software product is developed in a very familiar environment, in a very stable environment. Okay, the environment is very familiar and stable. The developers know very thoroughly, they are familiar with the environment. The environment is stable. The product is very much similar to previously developed product. Already in past they have developed similar type of products, like they are doing right now for a automation system for NIT, and this kind of automation system already they have developed earlier for these state government universities or private universities. So almost the product is similar, and the product size is less than equal to 50,000. Okay, product size is less than equal to 50,000 source instruction course. For example, you can take your accounting system, student information system, library information system. So normally all the information kind of systems, they are coming under organic mode. Now let's see semi-detached mode. So before going to semi-detached mode, let's first see embedded mode, then we'll come to semi-detached mode. So embedded mode, a product is said to be in embedded mode if you are developing a new product which requires a great deal of innovation. No past experience is there. You are not familiar with the environment. Environment is not stable. The product requires a great deal of new innovation ideas. Very inflexible constraints and interface requirements. The constraints are inflexible. The interface requirements are inflexible. So those products will be coming under embedded mode. Examples you can take: all the operating systems, real-time systems, they are all examples of what these softwares for operating systems and real-time systems, they are coming under embedded mode. Then semi-detached mode, the products where they come in between these two. The products are there, or the mode which somewhere lies between organic mode and embedded mode. They are known as semi-detached mode. Examples are compilers, linkers, assemblers, loaders. So these are all examples of software products which are coming under semi-detached mode. Okay, these questions will come under will come as objective type questions. So these are the different COCOMO modes. Based on there are three types of modes we have seen. So depending upon the type of the mode, the value of the constant C and K will be changed while calculating or while estimating the effort. Now I have summarized the three types of modes: organic, semi-detached, and embedded. So I have taken some features. Then so what is the level of the feature that is described here? Like the organizational understanding of the product and objectives. It's very much thorough in case of organic, because these are very simple, very well established. For organic it is thorough. For embedded it is not so much of thorough, but it is of general kind, and semi-detached in between this considerable. Experience in working with the related software systems in organic, I have already told you, you are quite familiar about the environment. So it is very much extensive. This experience is extensive. In case of embedded, it is moderate or average or what you say medium, you can say. Semi-detached, some are considerable in between that. Need for software conformance with pre-established requirements. In organic, it is basic, but in embedded, it is full, and semi-detached in between. Need for software conformance with external interface specifications. Again, it is very little. You can say basic, but in case of embedded, it is required as full, and in case of semi-detached, it is considerable. So once you identify whether it is organic, semi-detached, or embedded, you have to use your subjective knowledge. You have to use your experience. Then first problem is identify the given product will come under which mode: organic, semi-detached, or embedded. Accordingly, then we have to choose the values of C and K for estimating the size and effort. As I have already told you, there are three models for COCOMO: basic model or COCOMO 81, intermediate model, and the detailed model. This basic model is normally used for early rough estimates of a project cost, performance, and schedule. So in order to calculate a very rough estimate, just a preliminary estimate, you can use basic model. It is used for early rough estimates of a project cost, performance, and schedule. The accuracy is here within a factor of 2 of actual 60% of time. Okay, the accuracy here it is within a factor of 2 of the actual 60% of time. If you see intermediate model, this intermediate model uses some factors called as EAF, effortment adjustment factor. Just like as we have seen in this these function points, we have used some factors. So here also it uses some effort adjustment factors. From where? From 15 cost drivers. There are some 15 cost drivers, and from that you can find out by using those values from the 15 cost drivers. You can compute the effort adjustment factor. It does not account for 10 to 20% of the cost. The intermediate model does not account for about 10 to 20% of the costs, such as training, maintenance, quality, etc. They are not considered here. Here the accuracy is within 20% of the actual 68% of time. So it's more than this basic model. The accuracy is within 20% of actual 68% of time. The detailed model, it uses different effort multipliers for each phase of the product. In detailed model, there will be several phases of the product, and this model uses different effort multipliers for each phase of the project. So most project managers nowadays, they use the intermediate model. It is very popular here, intermediate model. So most of the project managers, they use intermediate model. Now let's see the formulae for these different models. We shall first see the basic effort equation according to COCOMO 81. It is represented as effort can be estimated as C into size to the power K, where C and K are constants. Size is the what you can say LOC, the source lines of code. C is a constant based on the developmental mode, whether it is an organic mode or semi-detached mode or embedded mode. For organic mode, the value of C is 2.24. For semi-detached mode, the value of C is 3.0. For embedded mode, the value of C is equal to 3.6. Boehm has found out these things by conducting several experiments over several data sets. The size is normally taken as I have already told you in kilo lines of code. Size is equal to 1000 source lines of code or KSLOC. So even if it is in the examination not given, say 35,000 is given, you have to take as 35 because you have to convert into KLOC. K here is also a constant for a given mode. If the mode will change, the value of K will change. For organic mode, the value of K is equal to 1.05. For semi-detached mode, the value of K is equal to 1.12. For embedded mode, the value of K is equal to 1.20. So you should try to remember these different values of C and K for different modes. So I have just made a table. So just to summarize this, for organic, I have already told you examples of organic modes or organic products are all the information systems. Semi-detached means broadly all the utility apps like information system means what? You can say student information system, library information system, railway reservation system, accounting system, banking system, all banking information system. These are all organic. Semi-detached means all utility applications such as compilers, linkers, loaders, etc., assemblers, etc. Embedded means all the operating systems, real-time systems, embedded systems, they are coming under embedded products. And whatever values for this C and K I have written for the different products, I have just listed it here. K is the exponentiation, you can see size to the power K. So K is the exponentiation, that means to the power of. This adds disproportionately more effort to the larger projects, takes account of bigger management overhead. So since K is the exponent and you see the value of K, it is just increasing from organic to embedded. This represents that this value of K, the increasing value of K when the product type is moving towards complex, it represents that it adds disproportionately more effort to the larger projects, takes account of bigger management overhead. So it will go to, normally you see embedded systems are very large. So when you go to the larger projects, complex projects, you have to consider more effort because there will be a larger amount of management overhead. So that's why the K here it is taken as exponent and the value of K is increasing from simpler projects, simpler products to complex products. So now let's see, I have already given you the equation for the effort. Now we should try to find out the equation for schedule. So schedule equation, normally schedule can be measured with this parameter called as development time. In COCOMO we call as nominal development time. So nominal development time in COCOMO 81 is represented as follows. There is a constant 2.5 into effort to the power exponent. Okay. The nominal development time is equal to 2.5 into effort to the power exponent. Somewhere else in books you will see they will also write A into effort to the power B. So the A and B are constants. It will may vary from books to books. So where you will get this effort? We have already computed the effort here, isn't it? We have computed the effort here. So what else? So wow, given the size, given the value of C and K, first you have to compute the value of effort. Then this value of effort you have to put here. Value of exponent is already given. Then you can compute this value required for the schedule. You can express the schedule parameter. You can express the schedule parameter through the term nominal development time. Here I have already told you 2.5 is a constant and this value of constants remains same for all the modes, that is semi-organic, organic, semi-detached and embedded. Only the value of exponent will change, or some books you will see what A, B or E like that. So the exponents maybe suppose we will give the notation E. It can be based on the mode semi-detached, organic and embedded. So let's see the value of exponent for organic is 0.38, value of exponent for semi-detached is 0.35, value of embedded exponent for embedded system is 0.32. Please mark the values are now decreasing. The values of exponent, the constants are decreasing when you are moving from organic to embedded. 0.38, 0.35, 0.32, the values are decreasing. But in the other case, you see the value of K, this is also exponent, this is increasing while you are moving from organic to embedded. Please have a look into this. Now let's see, we'll try to plot some graphs for effort as well as schedule. You can see that effort equation you have already seen. C into size to the power K, and the value of K is what? Increasing. The value of K is increasing, value of C is also increasing. As a result, what will happen when you will plot the graph, you will find the graph like this. So this is this is for organic, then this black one is for organic, blue one for semi-detached and red one for embedded. you can mark that the effort is somewhat superlinear in problem size. You see, in this type of curves, they are known as superlinear. I will say another thing called a sublinear in next graph. So the effort follows a superlinear curve. The effort is somewhat superlinear in problem size. If the size will increase like this, the effort will also increase in a superlinear manner. But if you consider the development time, then it is not superlinear. It is coming to be what? Sublinear. See, please mark the graph. The graph here like this. It is curved. The curve is bending towards down, but here the curve is bending towards up. These are known as sublinear functions. So if the size increases, then the development time also increases because in a sublinear function. Okay, it increases in a sublinear function. So the development time is a sublinear function of the product size. Okay, if the size increases, the development time is also increased. It is a sublinear function of the product size. So what do you mean by this sublinear function? So this meaning of sublinear function is like this, ma'am. When the product size increases, in which proportionate, the development time will not increase in that way. Please see, when the product size increases here 2 times, the development time will not increase double. That's why it is called it is sublinear. So here, when the product size increases 2 times, then the development time will not just be double. You can check here. The time taken is almost remaining constant or same for all the 3 product categories. Whatever. So first of all, when the size increases for one type of product, it is not exactly doubled. Say it is 30. If you see, for this is what semi-detached. Suppose if I am taking a semi-detached product, we are taking 30. It's taking 14 months. But when the size is 60, it is not 28. It is just 18. So we say that this is sublinear. But the time taken is almost same for all the 3 product size. So now if you see this size 30K for this, almost this time will remain same, just a minor variation. So the time taken remains almost the same, almost constant, very with a less difference. The time taken remains almost same for all the 3 product categories. Even at the particular point of size, you take the time for organic, semi-detached or embedded products, the time will be very close to each other. The time will remain almost the same. So in this way, you have studied 2 properties. The effort is somewhat superlinear in problem size, whereas the development time, the nominal development time is a sublinear function of the product size. And if you see like this, why this is happening? Because you see, in case of your effort, the value of the K is 1 point something. But in case of your nominal development time, the value of K is what? It's point something, 0.6. It is less than 1. In case of effort, the value of K is greater than 1. And in case of nominal development time, it is less than, the exponent value is less than 1. That's why we are getting 2 different types of graphs. If I plot the 2 different types of graphs in the same figure, it will look like this. So this is for the effort. Here the value of K is greater than 1. That's why the graph is coming like this. And in case of duration, the value of K is less than 1. That's why the graph is coming like this. So in this way, I have plotted both the graphs for effort and duration, and you can visualize why these graphs are coming like this due to this factor exponent. In effort, the value of K is greater than 1, the value of exponent is greater than 1, whereas in duration, the value of K is less than 1. Okay, the value of exponent is less than 1. So this I have already told you, the development time does not increase linearly with the product size. The nominal development time we have already shown in the graph, that the nominal development time, it does not increase linearly with product size. That means if the size gets doubled, then the time does not get doubled. It increases, but not proportionately. For larger products, why? What is the reason? Why the time does not increase accordingly if the size increases? Because for larger products, there you can identify more parallel activities. For larger products, more parallel activities can be identified. And these parallel activities, they can be carried out simultaneously by hiring more number of people. So why the time will increase linearly? So since for larger products, there can be more parallel activities, and the parallel activities, they can be carried out by many people simultaneously or by hiring a number of people simultaneously. That's why the time does not increase according to the increase in the size. Okay. The development time is roughly it is same for all the three categories of products I have already told you. For example, if you take a 60 KLOC program which can be developed in approximately 18 months. Okay, a 60 KLOC program might be developed in 18 months regardless of whether it is organic, semi-detached or embedded type. So so might be within 1-2 months different like this. Here I have shown this thing. I have shown somewhere else here. You take about 60 and there will be average is 18, might be plus minus 1 or 2. So for whatever maybe the product type, the development time remains almost same for all the three categories of products. The development time is roughly the same for all the three categories of products. For example, a 60 KLOC program, it can be developed in approximately 8 months, regardless of whether it is of organic product, it is an organic product or semi-detached product or embedded type of product. And you can see another observation, but there is more scope for parallel activities for system and application programs than utility programs. So if you are considering what system and application programs, you will get more scope for parallel activities in comparison to the utility programs like compilers, loaders, etc. Now we'll quickly take up some example programs and try to illustrate how we can apply these basic COCOMO equations for effort and size, for effort and time. So please have a look carefully. The size of an organic software product has been estimated to be 32,000 lines of source code. Okay, it is estimated that the size of a organic software product is 32,000 lines of source code. It is assumed that the average salary of a software developer is rupees 15,000 per month. What is the question? Determine the effort that will be required to develop the software product, the nominal development time, and the cost to develop the product. Okay, this is the question. So here you can see the size is already given 32,000 lines of code. That means 32K. So, and I have already told you the formula. Formula for estimating effort is how much? It is C into size to the power K. What is the value of size? You can see 32,000. I have already told you, you have to take in terms of kilo. So for size, it is 32 kilo. It is of which product? Organic product. For the value of organic product, I have to find out now the value of C and K. Please see the value of C and K. You can see for organic product, the value of C is 2.4, the value of K is 1.05. Just let us put the values. So in place of C, I have put 2.4. In place of K, I have put 1.05. And if you solve the equation, it will come to 91 person month. I have already told you the unit of effort is what? It is a person month or staff month. So the value of effort is coming to be 91 person month. Of course, you will be allowed calculators in this subject. Then I have to compute what? The nominal development time. What is the formula for nominal development time? I have just shown here. Nominal development time according to basic COCOMO is equal to 2.5 into the effort required to the power the exponent. And for organic, I have already told you what is the value of exponent? 0.38. Now let's put the value. Nominal development time is equal to 2.5, it is a constant, into what is the effort? 91 to the power the exponent. For organic, I have just shown the value of exponent is 0.38. If you will solve it, this equation, you will get around, not exactly, it will be something maybe 14 point something. I have rounded up to 14 months. Please mark the unit of effort is person month, whereas nominal development time is exactly months, so 14 months. What it is given? It is assumed that the average salary of a software developer is how much rupees per month? 15,000 per month. So average salary is 15,000 per month. How month it is required? How many months? 14 months required to develop the software. So how much? How much effort is required? Effort is 91% months. So how much we are asked what? How much cost is required? So cost, the staff cost, the personnel cost or the person cost can be found out by multiplying this salary per month into the effort required, the person month required. Person month required is 91 person month. So 91 into rupees 15,000, that means near about 14,65,000. So in order to develop the product, we will require 14,65,000 rupees. Okay, this is one first example. Any doubt, please? So very simple, but similar types of examples or exercises may come in the examination. Okay, we'll go to the next example. Suppose you are developing a software product, again in the organic mode. You have estimated the size of the product to be about 1 lakh lines of code. What is the question? Compute the nominal effort and the development time. So again I will go to this is organic mode. Again I am using basic COCOMO. Size is 1 lakh lines of code. If we will convert to kilo, it will be 100 KLOC. Project is given to be organic. So the previous equation I can also use. So effort will be equal to how much? For organic products, you know, the value of C is 2.4, the value of K is 1.05. Effort is the size is already given 100. Just put the value in the equation 2.4 into 100 to the power 1.05. If we solve, is coming to be 302.1 man months or person month. Same thing, person month, man month, staff month, same thing. So the nominal effort will be 302.1 man months. Now how to get the nominal development time? Again I have told this is organic product. So the same equation I will use 2.5 into effort to the power exponent. You know for organic product what is the value of exponent? 0.38. So this is coming to how much? You solve the equation coming to 8.6 months. So the nominal development time is equal to 8.6 months. If it will ask the cost, like per month the salary is 20,000, what will the cost? Just multiply 20,000 by this 302 into 1, because this is the man months required. So 20,000 into 302.1, whatever the value, that much cost will be required to develop the project, to develop the product. If the salary per month is 20,000, that is to be given to the developer. Okay, this is example 2. Let's quickly take another example. Example 3. Suppose that a certain software product for a business application cost rupees 50,000 to buy off the shelf. If you purchase from the market, you have to give only 50,000, and that is size is about 40 KLOC. Assuming that in-house developers cost 6,000 per month. If you develop it in-house, the in-house developers, they will take 6,000 per month, including the overheads. Now the question is, would it be more cost effective to buy the product or build it? The question is whether it will be better to go for building or developing the software yourself or purchasing from the market. So let us first see if we will develop this thing, how much cost will be required. It's already told business application. Business application means obviously it will be organic type. So the product is business application and it can be hence classified as organic type. So what will the nominal effort? Again the value of C is 2.4 and K is 1.05 for organic products. So nominal effort is equal to 2.4 into 40 to the power 1.05. This is equal to 115.5 person months or man months. In-house engineers take how much? 6,000 per month. How much man month required? 115.5. So multiply 6,000 with 115.5, coming to be 6,93,000. But if you go to the market and purchase, how much cost? Only 50,000 you have to pay if you will purchase from the market. So what is advisable? To develop or to build or to purchase? Obviously purchase will be the better option. So it is better to go for buying the product for the market instead of developing by using your developers, because it takes a huge amount of money in comparison to purchasing the product from the market. Okay. Still another example is there. Suppose an organic product has 7.5 KLOC. Please find the effort, development time, average staff required and productivity. Again it is given what? Organic product. So the value of C is 2.4, value of K is 1.05. So effort will be required 20 staff months. Development time will be, again the value of exponent is 0.38. So 2.5 into 222 by 0.38. So again 8 months. So now we'll see average staff required. So average staff required will be equal to how much? You know, the staff required is equal to how much? The effort by the time. So 20 staff months divided by 8 months. It is coming to be 2.5 average. So average staff required will be 2 staff. So what will the productivity? Productivity is given the the size is 7.5 KLOC. So productivity will be equal to 7,500 LOC divided by how much staff months? 20 staff months. So is equal to 375 LOC per staff month. Productive means what? How much LOC you are developing per staff month? That is productivity. So here productivity is coming to be 375 LOC per staff month. That means per staff month for this type of product, you can develop 375 lines of code. Okay, this is the next example, and one more example is there. Now we'll change the product. All the products we have taken previously, organic products. Now let's take a different kind of product. Now let us take an embedded type of product. Suppose an embedded project has 50 KLOC. It is estimated that its size will be 50 KLOC. Then find the effort, development time, average staff required, and the productivity. Now you have to see for this embedded product, what is the value of C and K? Quickly let's recap. For embedded product, the value of C is equal to 3.6, value of K is equal to 1.0. Now let us put the values there. So effort will be equal to how much? C into size to the power K. C value I have shown you 3.6, K value is 1.20. Put these values, you will get around approximately 394 person months. Development time formula you know, 2.5 into effort to the power K. So only I have to find out what is the value, exponent. What is the value of exponent for the embedded products? The value of exponent for embedded product is how much? 0.32. So now I have to put the value 0.3 here, 0.32 here. So development time is equal to 2.5 into size is already it is estimated as, effort is already estimated as 394. Value of exponent is 0.32. If we will solve, coming to be approximately 17 months. So now the question is how many staffs will be required? Effort will be 394 person months. Divided by development time is 17 months. So month will go. What will get? Persons. How many persons? 23 staffs or 23 persons are required. How can find out the productivity? Productivity is equal to how much? The size divided by effort. Size is equal to 50 KLOC, which is equal to 50,000 LOC, divided by effort is 394 person months, which will come out what LOC per staff month. So productivity is coming to be approximately 127 LOC per staff month. That means for this product, the productivity will be like this. There will be 127 LOC or 127 LOCs lines of source can be developed per staff month. This is the next problem. We have taken another kind of project here, that is the embedded project. Similarly, you can consider yourself a semi-detached problem and you may solve it yourself. So one exercise I have given here, please try to do it. A software package is required by a company to mine existing. So a software package is required by a company to mine the existing customer data to select prospective customers for a new launch. So the size is estimated to be 30 KLOC. Assume the competent developers, assume that the competent developers can be had at 50,000 per month. So however, the commercial offering supporting almost all of the required features cost 1 lakh. The commercial offering supporting will be only 1 lakh. So you have to take a decision. Should the company develop it or build the product themselves, or they can go and purchase it because the cost is here this much. So already I have solved a similar kind of problem here. Buy and yes, whether you have to buy a software or develop a software. So similar type of exercise is there. Please do it yourself and submit by tomorrow. I am summarizing it. How you will take a decision whether to develop a software or buy a software. The make or buy decision can be made based on the following conditions. You can consider these questionnaires. Will the software product be available sooner than internally developed software? See, here one decision I have told based on the cost, whether development cost will be less, or if I will purchase from the market, the cost will be less. This is one aspect. Besides the cost aspect, there are several other aspects which also you must take into account while making a buy build decision. One, will the software product be available sooner than internally developed software? Of course, if you will purchase from the market, whether the software product will be available much before, sooner than internal developed software, then I should go for this purchasing the software from outside. Number 2, will the cost of acquisition plus the cost of customization be less than the cost of developing the software internally? If I will develop the software, how much cost I will spend internally? If I will purchase a ready-made software from outside, the acquisition cost and the cost required for customization, if we add, whether it is still less than the development cost, in-house development cost, then I should go for purchasing the software. Another condition, will the cost of outside support be less than the cost of internal support? If you are getting a product from outside, if you are getting a product from market, whether the maintenance cost or if a maintenance contract is there, if you are giving your software for a third party to maintenance, will the cost of outside support be less than the cost of internal support? If it's less, obviously I should go for buying it from outside and giving it maintenance to a third party or the same vendor from where I have purchased. So these are some of the issues you must consider while making a buy build decision. Okay, so we have seen some parameters which must be considered while making a buy build decision. So this assignment I had given and few assignments I will give today. Try to submit it by tomorrow evening. Today we have discussed the fundamental concepts of basic COCOMO or COCOMO 81. We have discussed various types of software projects or software products. They can be divided into 3 types, such as organic products, semi-detached product, and embedded products. I have given examples of all the 3 types of products. We have presented the cost and effort estimation using basic COCOMO. The 2 equations I have given, how we can estimate cost and effort using basic COCOMO. We have solved some exercises on cost and effort estimation using basic COCOMO. Also, we had given one exercise that you have to do yourself. This is how we can use basic COCOMO to estimate what? To estimate the effort and the cost. Next is intermediate COCOMO. So I have already told you we have to use some cost drivers. We have to use some adjustment factors based on some 15 cost drivers. That we'll discuss on tomorrow. Okay. So any doubt, please? We have taken these things from both of these books. You can have a look. Any other book also you can see, either software engineering or software cost estimation or software project management, you can see. So any doubt, please ask. Thank you very much. Any doubt, please?
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, I am Avdesh, and
Yes.
I joined this meeting 15 minutes. So please share this recording to me, by which I can go through the slides.
Yes,
and
recording you can download. This recording will be available after maybe 10-15 minutes. The same Microsoft team you can download. You please also download the previous lectures. The slides, you will get 2 things. The slide as well as this recording you can get, and you can download both the slides and these recordings immediately. Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
So any other doubt, any other query?
Sir, Parmanand here. So where we will get the syllabus of the total course?
Syllabus, whatever, see, it is there in the institute website, but normally you can see, but whatever will cover. So after every class, I put my slide as well as this recording will be available. You just go to this file option, you see all the previous lectures are available there. The slides as well as this. And for if you want a course, you have to see this institute website. Yes, normally, sir, whatever we are discussing in the class, that will be sufficient for you.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you, sir.
So any other query for anybody else? Lal Singh? Lal Singh is present? Not present today. Okay. All right. So if there are no doubts, then we'll stop here. Please go through today. Today's thing is very easy. Next class onwards, we will be finding difficulty. So my sincere request is whatever we are teaching on every day, please cover that thing by same day night.
Yes, sir.